All right, so good morning, everyone. Hope you guys can hear me. So I'm gonna do. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, I can hear myself. All right, so I'm gonna do a quick breakdown of some indicators I use, and for swing trading and day trading, and why I use them, and I'll explain to you every single of them, and yeah. So let's start with the bigger time frame, is a weekly chart. On a weekly chart, the most popular indicators people use, and I use too, it's 10 moving average and 40 moving average. So 10 moving average is 10 week, right? 10 weeks moving average. It's the same as 50-day moving average from the daily. And the other one is 40-week moving average. It's the same as 200-day plus minus the same as 200-day moving average. So how do you use them? Usually when the price above all those two moving averages, stock is an uptrend. You can use them as trailing stops. For the longer plays, we can look at some stocks. For example, let's look at something like maybe UPS. As you can see, this was a good initial buy on UPS and didn't give you any signals to sell until the price crossed 10 moving average on the weekly. So you could use it as a longer play, and then gave you an opportunity to go long again here. This is a stage 2 continuation when price came close to 40-day moving average right here, close to 200-day moving average. You could add to your position, risking the low point right there. As you can see, right before the earnings, stock ran and initiated the stage 2 breakout. And as you can see, what happened after that. So now, price contracting between you see volatility contracts, volume fades. So there's a stage, probably stage 2 consolidation going on here for potential breakout higher. So this is a stage 2 on a smaller time frame, right? We still have to break all these 221s highs. So this is a small stage 2, but the biggest stage 2 is the whole entire area from 188 to 224, and possible stage 2 continuation after this stage 2 continuation. Sometimes they do multiple series steppers, right? On a daily, I use 10 EMA, 20 EMA, then I use 50 EMA. I used to use 50-day moving average. I switched to 50 EMA because it acts a little bit faster, and then 200-day moving average. What are those arrows? What are those arrows, and what are those areas, right? So those are clouds. Once we have a crossover, so we kind of in a bearish phase. When we have a crossover, red line goes above the green line, we in a bullish phase, and again bearish phase, right? So now we're turning the corner, potentially in a bullish phase and uptrend. So the arrow representing the price breaking above 50 EMA and definitely closing there. So it's indication of potential buy. As you can see, there's the potential buy here and led to potentially a good trade here as well, exactly from this area, and led to a pretty good profit, right? Running into this high, then consolidation above, and then breakout. Same with the red arrows. Let's see, where's a good example. Maybe not a good example here. I mean, right here, you see momentum reaching its peak. You got a volume on a high, reversal, signals for potential double top here and potential reversal. Another indicators you gotta do, it's just, draw trend lines, and this potential short setup trend is changing. We are potentially breaking down. When we get this green and red candle, how I use this as a potentially whipsaw action. You don't trade here whipsaw, because that's a pure consolidation. As you can see here, there was a pure consolidation, and range. How to trade the range? You got to be buying the bottom, sell the top, right? But it's very often it's really hard to spot those ideal entries, and the risk reward is not adequate enough. The best way is actually play the breakouts of the range, or if you really want to play the range, you got to be going long at the bottom of the range, right? Sell the top and add to the breakout. All right, so on hourly chart, what do I use here? So up is 15, I'm gonna bring in hourly. Let's see. So on hourly chart, let me bring some other stock. Base. I do have volume price and volume profile. So this is volume profile for the whole entire period here. The top line, it's a value, the bottom is a value, right? The top value, the bottom value, they represent the value investors have for this particular stock. They think the value of the stock for this period between 304 and 212, right? So the red line is a point of control. That's where we had a lot of volume done at this particular price in the whole entire period, right? So then I broke it down by months, and I'll show you in a second how I did that. I broke down by months. So as you can see how you can use this, the same thing. You got value, top and bottom, the point of control. And very often when the price breaks the previous month value, that area becomes support or resistance and point of control as well. As you can see, we had a nice breakout here, stock rallied, and then came back where? To these two supports, point of control especially. Stock bounce of the point of control, and again, additional tool you're using, the trend line. You connected these points. Look at this. More things you have on your sideline is better. So you got a point here, you got a point there. You connected, stock came back down. Yes, it got down lower. It never exact, the support is never exact number. So what's important? You got one support, this trend line. Then you got a point of control support, and just in general stock kind of on a downtrend trying to run away. And then once it breaks back inside the value, that's when possibly you can enter a trade for potential run higher. We've stopped right there low. That was a pure shakedown. Stop goes right there, and the next day it initiates your green buy over 50-day moving average, right? It's actually almost closes this line right here. That's a 50-day moving average. It's almost closed it. So on this day, I would take a swing on this day, stop low of the day for potential run higher. As you can see, 2 days run impulse, and would give you about 2 hours. If you're patient enough and wait, you would actually still be sitting in the stock and waiting for the big stage 2 breakout, which is cooking right now, right? Coinbase a little bit risky due to the fact that their business exposure to crypto adds additional risk, right? Once they start trading like more instruments and it becomes more supported by institutions, we'll see a nice rally. I think this is an IPO due diligence phase. Earnings came out, great numbers, no doubt, but there's too much risk. They got to expose themselves to trading futures. ETFs create a great platform and stuff like that. What else? So here, let me show you actually studies here, right? Show you studies how to do this. So you got to be adding 2 different volume profiles. So, and you can add as many as you want. You can add for a week. It's gonna give you the weekly profile, monthly profile. So make sure you pick the chart. This one is for the chart. It shows you here on the chart. On expansion, this is what changes yes and no. Expansion, as you can see, now it's showing you on the whole entire chart. So, oops. The other one is for the month here. That's what you change here, monthly, weekly profile. I don't change anything else here. What you also can change here is no, yes, remove that. So it's gonna give you a clearer picture. That's about it for this one. On these studies, I'll show you something I use here is moving average, 50 EMA, 200. And this is a study we have here, exponential moving average 10 and 20 cross, right? It also gives us additional information here. What's the ATR for this stock? It's $11. How much we moved as of right now? 11.48. Are we in a strong uptrend, downtrend? So far, it's showing you a strong uptrend. Every time the stock goes above 50 moving average, that's what creates that strong uptrend. There is more to it, so I turned off so it can show you actually, this is the risk dollar, for example. You can risk $200, and based on entering at the current price, where the stock is sitting right now, right? With the stop low of the day, it gives you exactly how much shares you can buy, so you don't have to calculate, and it gives you exactly your entry, which is the high of the day, and the stop low of the day. You can play with that and give a bigger offset, right? You can have an offset, you can adjust. Here you go, we can put a $100 risk, and as you can see, it changes right now automatically. Only 9 shares you can buy at the current price with the stop low of the day for potential move higher. Again, stops low of the day, it's not something that could be used all the time. It depends, right? It depends on the situation. Current situation, it's a breakout here. Technically, you can put it stop low of the day, which also going to be below the point of control for this month, right? But sometimes you got to put your stop actually below the pivot point, okay? So for you, oops, why did I do that? Let's see. Here is the study. You can copy, take a screenshot, and here is the second page. This is the study. You can copy and use it. All right, so on a smaller time frame, let's look at the Coinbase here. What else I use here? Here's a few more studies here. These lines, they represent the prior day high, the prior day low, high, low, the yellow line, the prior day closing price, those red dash lines, the pre-market high and low, and the green line, the opening price. So I do like how we actually put them right there, so they don't have to, completely expand to the right, kind of mess up the chart. Then we have VWAP, 10 and 20 EMA, simple as that. Here's the study for this chart. This is levels. Oh yeah, I'll show you levels real quick. There is more. You can have current day open, current day high, current day low. There's a lot of different. So I turned off many of them. Yeah. So I turned off many of them, and here's the study for you. You can take a screenshot of this. I'm gonna scroll down. Oops. It's a very useful study. So yeah, if you're gonna have an issue, copy and paste, just send me a message, and I'll give you the code. You also can come to Discord and ask me a question there, so I can give you these codes as well there. All right, and here I use also volume profile, as you can see, daily, and just for this particular period. Let me show you how also it is useful. Here's an example on Coinbase today. What did we see yesterday? Yesterday we saw the value was right there at the low, the point of control at the bottom. What do we see in the morning today? What did you see right here? Price dropped at the open, and where it bounced, exactly at the point of control from the yesterday. That's a really good bullish sign for you potentially to play as a day trade. This is a great example how you can take a day trade on this reversal hammer, and as you can see, it would solve into an amazing trade, right? Day trade, then particularly, you can keep this trade for a longer play for the swing, right? And that's how you got to be using this. It doesn't work all the time. Sometimes, as you can see, price breaks down below the value, but then breaks here on this day above the value, and it initiates the pretty much buy. The targets also could be played from the prior day point of control and value. As you can see how price right here gets stalled at the prior day point of control. Not a surprise, right? That's where we had a lot of volume done at this particular price, and it's going to act like a magnet and it's going to act like a resistance. So very useful tool. What else? Here I use RVOL. As you can see, when it's black like this, the relative volume, it's kind of low. The gray is some interest going on. The red, the stock in play a lot. There's a lot of volume going on. Let me show you. Here's the code for that, RVOL. You can copy and paste. I have another chart right here. Let me bring it for you, and I have one more code there. Right here, just gonna bring it right there. So again, on Coinbase, this is another code, right? Another code we're using. So the daily average volume, the total volume today, and the percentage change. So for example, if we look at this stock, DLO, right? DLO is a good example. As you can see how it's going to change really quick. 227% increase, right? I don't use this tool. It's more with like day trading tools, but also give you potential indication. The average 30 bars, the volume increase, and just what's the volume there, right? And here's a code for that as well. Volume average. Oops. Oh, first page. All right. Yeah, guys, if you have any questions, let me know. Jump in Discord, ask questions there. We do streamings every morning. We try to do every morning and teach people how to swing trade and day trade. We trade small caps, large caps. I mainly trade large caps, strong, relative strong stocks, and a lot of good stuff you can learn in the room. All right, thank you so much, and take care, guys.